Bye, Dad.
Drive safe.
Okay, love you.
The Sprint Drive First app blocks and replies to texts while you drive. We can live without the and. Visit sprint.com/drive.
All right, welcome back here at the CNET stage. I'm Donald Bell at CES 2013, and I am joined by Bree Pettis here, co-founder and CEO of MakerBot Industries. And yesterday, you guys announced the MakerBot Replicator 2X. Am I right? Yes. Tell me about your new 3D printer.
So we unveiled this one yesterday. So this is our 4th generation of MakerBot. And to kind of break it down, the MakerBot Replicator 2 is a single extruder 3D printer optimized to use a material called PLA, which is a renewable bioplastic that's made from corn. Now, yesterday we unveiled the Replicator 2X.
For extreme?
For experimental.
Oh, okay.
Well, I like that. Extreme.
Extreme.
Extreme 3D printing.
You have to like drink your
From
Monster
the tops
Energy
of mountains.
Yeah.
Jumping out of airplanes. Yes.
Maybe next year that can be the name.
But it's kind of like that, actually, because it uses the Replicator 2X uses a material called ABS, which is a little bit fussier material. And we optimized the machine so that you can be successful with it. But it's really set up for the Doc Brown MacGyver types. Like, you know, if you've built a trebuchet from scratch, Replicator 2X is for you.
Right. So does the ABS setting go up to 11 somehow for like you can really feel the power?
Yeah. So you can print out your own Stonehenge.
All right, now let's back up though. I know that there's still people out there who really haven't gotten their head around 3D printing, the why of it, who's using your 3D printers. You've been selling these now for a good 2-3 years. How long has MakerBot been selling MakerBots?
Yeah, this is our 4th year.
Okay.
And this is our 4th time at CES. The first year we were here, and we were like so far back in the corner.
I actually visited you guys because MakerBot's here. But you were in the boonies.
Yeah, we were in the thick, way back
All
there.
right, since then, who's really taken up the MakerBots and kind of been your biggest market?
Well, first I should tell people what 3D printing is, because it's still science fiction for a lot of people. And basically, if you think about 2D printing, like you have a virtual document on your computer and you turn it into a physical document.
Sure.
With 3D printing, you have a virtual 3D model and you turn it into a physical 3D model, and it builds it up layer by layer, and then you take it out and you have your thing that you imagine.
Your girlfriend is there. You can give her a name.
Yep.
Great.
And so we've got these 2 new 3D printers that we launched, and then we've also got some other stuff. We updated our software so it's more feature rich, and then we launched a thing on Thingiverse, which is our place where it's our library where people share downloadable digital designs. We launched an API which allows developers to make things, and just for fun, we made an application on that API called the MakerBot Customizer, and it lets you go on there and create things. So it makes it really simple to make things. So like there's an iPhone case, and you choose what kind of iPhone you have, and you choose what kind of shapes you want to have and how much they overlap and how thick things are going to be, and you can make a custom geometric pattern to iPhone case. It looks really cool.
Now, actually, show me. Let's show some of these off. Show me some of the things that have been made by the MakerBot.
So this is one of my. I'm a gearhead. I've had like 30 cars, and only 2 of them were worth more than $1,000. So I've spent a lot of the time under the hood of old cars. And this is a V6 Ford engine block, and Ford sent us the model for this. And this is actually the model for a Ford V6 engine block. So just scaled down.
You're going to have to print out a few more pieces, though, to get the whole car eventually.
That's true. But it's really cool. You can see where the oil goes, and then there's a separate system for the coolant, and it's all there. So in some ways, this is an education in how an engine works, just printing that out. And this is printed actually at medium resolution, which is still really nice. And then this is actually, we're making this right now. It's just starting. This is a sculpture, a Sappho sculpture. And this is printed at our highest resolution, 100 micron layer height.
Yeah, and you can definitely tell the difference in the feel of the resolution on this little statuette and the engine block. This has kind of like a satiny finish.
Yeah, it's much smoother. This one you can kind of feel the steps of things, and this is smooth.
And then you also this little statue can live in this house.
Yes.
With your miniature furniture here.
So this is furniture made by Casey Holgren. And Casey Holgren, she's a set designer in New York. and her sets are on Broadway. And in the old days, she used to design sets with like cardboard and X-Acto knives and glue and spill blood everywhere in the process, right? Well, now she's got a few MakerBots, and when she goes to design a set, she designs them all on her computer and then makes them on her MakerBot, takes them into the director, and they talk about stuff. And because of this, she's done this for a lot of shows. She's got all this period furniture. She's got Victorian furniture, and I'm not sure, really kind of like classic furniture for different plays.
Tupperware bins full of old Victorian miniature furniture.
So now on top of being a set designer, she's also got a side business where she sells this to dollhouse enthusiasts. So it's one of the things that when you're a MakerBot operator, you think about, okay, I'm going to make these things in the world, and if people want them, no problem, I'll just make more.
All right, but mostly you're talking about creative professionals, people who are in kind of different crafty professions or hobbies. But there is also that sense that what's exciting about this technology and why it's at CES is that it may be this step towards this future of printing out your own gadgets or somehow a cooperative process of, the next iPhone comes out and in some parallel universe it's pseudo open sourced and you can print out the casing for it and then you just buy the chips from Apple or something like that, right? There's this idea that maybe 3D printing is going to replace the conventional distribution of gadgets.
So at our core, MakerBot is an innovation company, and what's cool is we innovate so that you can innovate. And our core audience is engineers, industrial designers, architects, and professionals who use CAD. But then there's this whole other level of people who just want to live in the future, and so they're maybe a teacher or a parent, and they just get one of these so that they can be ready for what happens next. And those people, they don't necessarily have to design the next Ford engine. They're free to design whatever weird thing they can imagine. And traditionally, if you were going to come up with a product, you have to think about selling it to 10 or 100,000 people. With a MakerBot, you just have to make it for yourself.
Right.
So there's all sorts of wonderful things on Thingiverse every day that are coming up, and we're at an inflection point. No, it's never been a better time to be a creative maker in the world. With a MakerBot, you can make stuff just straight out of your head. What used to take a month to send off to a model shop to be made can take you an hour. So that whole process of innovation, you can iterate much faster, so you can do a lot more, you can try things out a lot more before you make your final
Sure.
final
But
thing.
I mean, it gets to this idea of home production, right? Of instead of like the printer analogy, instead of having to go down and have your making copies on your old mimeograph machine, you can print out at home now.
Yes.
And in the same way here, you can, instead of having to go and buy an iPhone case, you can print one out at home or print out your miniature furniture. Does it stop at plastics, or is there a way that technology is eventually going to come down to 3D printing, motherboards for your computer, or 3D printing food, as our producer was mentioning today? Is there another step to this that gets towards the whole gadget?
What's so great is that we're at the beginning of the next industrial revolution, and we put this power in people's hands, and they're going to do both wonderfully innovative and totally absurd things with it. And in many ways, absurd things are really close to innovative things, because when you make something that's just stupid because you learn a little bit something different about what's possible than if you are really focused on a traditional application. So we're going to see just a massive blossoming in the coming years as more and more people get these in their hands, and it just becomes normal to innovate.
I'm super excited about it. Bree, thank you so much for joining us today.
A pleasure to be here.